Is this real though? Pawn stars Rick Harrison breaks silence on son's life sentence. Damn, that sucks. Let's put music though. Oh, what up? What y'all doing? Join me at chomp.com. En nombre del Padre, del Hijo y del Espíritu Santo, le vamos a dar la oración para que este live salga como se supone que salga, que los mensajes sean precisos, concisos, directos y que siempre alimente a alguien, ¿verdad? Mentalmente para que se eleve, se ilumine. Y que siempre estemos en tune con nosotros mismos, con la voz del Padre, que siempre, ¿verdad? Nos lleva a senderos misteriosos, nos lleva a explorar nuevos sitios, especialmente viviendo en un mundo tan oscuro como este, tan frío como el que vivimos, donde a nadie le interesa las emociones y los sentimientos de los demás. Vivimos en dinero, poder y lujuria y un narcisismo cabrón en el mundo. Yo, what's up? God bless. Always. I'm just waiting for people to log in and blah, 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 you know, like, join the channel. I think it's probably too loud. Oh, silence, please. So yeah, bro, like we're talking about just like the title says, and if it resonated, first off, blessings to all you out there, you know what I'm saying? Shit, it's a cold ass motherfucking world we live in. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we be noticing shit. It's crazy how like it sucks. People nowadays, it's all about money, power. Yeah, go ahead, what up? It takes forever to cook a baked potato. Sometimes that's what you look for in life. Transgender people. Transgender, you said. Yo, open up your mind. It's fucking 2025, yo. Stop being ignorant. That's facts. And to each his own. So who are you gonna follow? Don't follow nobody. I don't give a fuck about the wolf, the sheep, the shepherd. I'm a lion. Heart. Only through the void, only through the gaps of life will you find that life-altering moment that's gonna take you back to yourself, to your inner self. Let's always remember that every action that we take, it only defines us as people, as persons, as individuals. But also remembering that whatever step we take in life is not only going to affect you, but it's going to have a chain reaction around you. So, filling those voids, always be responsible with what you fill them with. Those gaps in life ain't nothing better than going to the root of the problem and fixing it from the root. Not just throw a little bit of caulking over it. It doesn't work like that. Knowing that we all of us, have a special purpose in life. And always remembering that there should be a balance in life. It's alright to be yourself. It's alright to make peace with your shadow side. Not everything in life has to be all goody. It can be batty. But it depends on how you reflect your energies in life. How you reflect your energies on life? Are you throwing your insecurities onto other people? Or are we not blaming the world for whatever happens to us and taking our own faults into consideration, switching them, and understanding that life is a process, that not every challenge that we go through is meant to keep us on the soul stage. It's not meant. It's meant for us to learn, to grow up, to heal our inner self, to heal the traumas from the past. We all got traumas. Whether it was from a family member, whether it was from somebody else, whether it was a relationship, whether it was whatever factor in life. Learn from that mistake and grow up from that mistake. Always become the best version of yourself. Never the worst. Sometimes people don't want to see you shine, so they'll project their insecurities onto you so that you feel some sort of way over the gifts that you have, the abilities, the skills that you have. It's harder for people to admit when you're influential. It's harder for people to admit that you're doing good versus slandering on your name, versus digging up shit from the past that was long time gone, and they still want to bring it up. You see, we live in a world where people have to judge. Who judges? The people who are filled up with their own insecurities, fear of rejection, fear of going out into the world, just being themselves because of whatever people might think about what we do, how we carry ourselves, how we project ourselves. So we have to live on the norms of society so that we will be accepted by society. But who seeks validation in external sources when in all reality all the validation shall be inside of you? If nobody validates you, then most likely you were not meant to fit in that crowd. Most likely it's life calling you apart on isolation mode so that we can reflect on our own self and be the best version of ourselves. Not just the portray of what society wants us to be, to be seen as. Be yourself. Go around the world, being yourself. Fuck it. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for your own voice. You see, voice, just like silence, is very powerful. We're all able to heal other people. They say hurt people, but also heal people, heal people. We go around in life seeing the best in people. I mean, obviously, there's always like a limit to everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's always going to be a limit to everything. If you see that the person is taking advantage of you, cut them off. If they get mad, that's on them. Are you going to be a people's pleaser? Or are you going to work on your own sanity? That's the difference. The balance of life, the yin and the yang. Always knowing that when God said, let it there be light, is because the world was dark. Which means that most of the time we have to go through our worst phases, through the darkest nights of the soul, in order to find that illumination of the soul. Have a spiritual awakening. They talk about twin flame journeys. And you know who I think twin flame journey is? Yourself. Yo, what up, Galvez? Rejection, we all know, is protection. As we all know. Sometimes we think like, oh, you know, like, what did I do wrong in order for this person to like take their own path, you know, start acting different or whatever. And most of the time we have to recognize that it's not us. It's them not resisting your shine, your light, your light. So why blame ourselves for something that is not on us? We are all slaves of what we hush, what we do not say. And we're owners of what we say. So when we say something, let's make sure that we have a way to back it up, not just talk or act out of emotions, sensitivity, rage, character, gender, religion, race. Always knowing that we're all reflections of each other. That most of the people that we meet, they're either a lesson in life, or they are a blessing in life, or whatever. You see, let's say for example, the shells, Palomonte. People will see this, and first thing that comes to your head is what? Witchcraft, santeria, spells, casts. Not always. You see, I don't use, as a matter of fact, it is not even religion for me. It is a spiritual belief. It's a way of me communicating with my ancestors, the deities. I tell you something though, ever since I got the ceremony done and all that good stuff, my life has changed for the best, and the best version of myself. You see, a year ago, I was hot-headed. I fight people, go around the world in defensive mode, until I understood the power that I carry inside of me, just like you, just like all of you. We all have been gifted in the spiritual realm. It's on us because spirit lives inside of us. So we're all spiritual in some sort of way. Now it's on us to unlock that part. Not living the 3D, but living the 5D. Walking by faith, not by sight. Can you see the wind? Can you see air? But is it there? The Father is there. The spiritual realm is real. Karma is also real. That's why it is so important for us to maintain integrity in ourselves, values, morals, beginnings, principles. Always. Because this is not about the rest of the world. It's about you making the change in yourself, and the rest of the world will notice, and you will become an inspiration for the rest of the world. Look at your back. I had it. I've gotten those compliments. I know every version of you, but this is the best version of you. The one that's in peace with himself, content with himself, even through the struggles, always recognizing that the one who has always kept it real, not 100, not 1,000, amele, is the Creator, the Most High, Source. Sometimes we also have to understand that most of the trials and tribulations that we go through in life is for us to evolve. It's meant for us to heal, to learn, to grow up, to see the world as one. Let's say, for example, I see that the streets are dirty, whatever, garbage in the floor. Am I gonna be another one of those? Or am I going to find the nearest trash can, or if I don't have one, put whatever it is in my pocket until I find one. Mother Gaia. You see, when when we um when we don't take care of Mother Gaia gets mad. That's why all these natural events, phenomena, tsunamis, earthquakes, blizzards is going on around the world. Or do you think that killing them, all them trees, killing them in order to build houses and offices and all this shit? You see, mankind is the only machine capable of destroying their own kind. By what? By these selfish acts, not preserving nature, wildlife, hunting. I have nothing against hunting, but what the fuck do you get out of shooting an animal that has nothing, that has done nothing to you to satisfy your own personal needs? Oh, because you want to have a deer head hanging in the back of your wall. Think about it. Oh, because we need a fur coat. So let's go ahead and kill bears and all this shit, all these animals, so we could rock a bear fur coat. You know what? Lately, I've been thinking about becoming a vegan. And it's not because of influential sources. It's more because lately, red meats, they don't, like, my body is not taking them well. Sometimes I'll eat something and then I'll have like a stomach ache. Or I'll feel like no energy whatsoever. I mean, I'm 42 and still to this day, thank God, my energy is off the roof. Keep your spirit happy. Keep your spirit content. Keep your spirit at peace. Make peace with spirit and soul. And you will find the key of life. Consciousness, elevating, conquering new challenges, overcoming past fears. Who should we compete with if it's not ourselves? Because competing with somebody else is an act of jealousy, is an act of envy, whether for good or for bad. Yeah, people can be inspiration for you, for me. That doesn't mean that I have to go in the world trying to be somebody else just because I liked their charisma, their personality, the way they handle things. We learn, but we're unique. Each one of us, singularity. And if we keep on singularity here, there, and we unite everybody, we all become one. by elevating our conscious thoughts, by knowing that when we cast words out, we're literally casting spells. What do they what what is it referring to when they say generational curses? Is the pain what was taught to us, passing it down to our descendants? Oh, because I grew up and when I was growing up, I don't know, my parents or whatever used to beat the shit out of me. So now I have to go around beating the shit out of my kid so they can learn their ways. Doesn't work like that. And when we stop doing that shit that was taught to us and we actually overwrite the story and turn it into a new one, guess what? Generational curses start breaking. Now it's generational wealth, which wealth doesn't always mean material. I can have $1 million in the bank. Is that going to make me a whole? Is that going to make me better than you? Is that going to make me the happiest person alive? Obviously not. Now, wealth can be your health. Wealth can be blessings. Wealth can be looking back at yesterday, maybe a year ago, and comparing yourself and being like, yo, a year back, I was in this predicament. I was in this situation. How did I overcome that situation a year later? And what was the work that I had to put in order to reach the level that I'm at right now? Not everything comes to us. We also have to work for us. Not only are we a beacon of light to the world, but we also have to be a beacon of light every day to ourselves. Watching what we intake, watching what we see, watching what we hear. Because not everything is meant for our growth. Not everything that shines is gold. Not because you see somebody being all lovey-dovey with you doesn't mean that they're real. What are the real motives if it's not for a benefit? Now, there's also people that are not there for the benefit. There's also people that are there because they want to be there through our trials, through our tribulations, through our worst phases. Those are the real ones. The ones that are not here to judge. The ones that are not here to, oh my God, everything you do, it bothers me. So why even be here? If my presence bothers you so much, then why are you going to be here? Why are you trying to act like you're my friend? In life, we all have free will. And I think that's the best. I think that's the best given to discernment for us to grow. That was my son. He's texting me and all that. He might be dropping by tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you see, like, for example, this is like the perfect scenario. I love my son to death. I love my daughter to death. But I also have to understand that they're not always gonna be there. They have their own life. Even if my son is 15, my daughter's 20, they have their own life. My son goes to school. My daughter is in college. She just went out to South Carolina. And for example, I've been inviting my son over, like, yo, like, you want to drop by, like, tra. Most of the time, he doesn't want to drop by. Be like, nah, So I'm not gonna get mad at him. I'm not gonna get mad at my daughter because the way they are. I understand them by who they are. I'm not trying to apply pressure. I'm gonna tell you a little story. When I was living in Connecticut, I came over for my daughter's graduation, and I believe that was June 2023. Yeah, June 2023. Sí, yo hablo español, papi, hablo español como eres, flow boricua. Pero mucha gente más que entiende inglés, ¿me entiende? Bam, bam, aquí entra gente de todo, ¿entiende? Bam, bam, inglés es el lenguaje que todo el mundo entiende, papi. Claro que sí. Oye, pero un placer en conocerte, Juan. Always. So, by letting him be, trust me, he's gonna find his way back. Now, the story that I was telling you, it was because when I was in Connecticut, I came over June 2023. It was my daughter's graduation. I hadn't seen my daughter in like 2 years approximately. I hadn't seen my son in 2 years approximately. De Puerto Rico. So when I came over after graduation day and all that, blah blah blah, we were gonna go, and that was the day before I left back to Connecticut. I came over here for 4 days. So the day before, we go to the movie theater. On the way to the movie theater, we stop at a 7-Eleven. I'm like, yo, let's get soda, let's get pam, whatever. I ask my son, he comes in the store with me, and I'm like, yo, papi, whatever you want. If you want candy, we're gonna go to the movie theater. If you want candy, if you want whatever you want, just grab it, pick it, and I'll pay for it. ¿De dónde tú eres? De Colombia. El chimba ese, papi. So I noticed that whatever, he's like walking circles as I'm paying, as I'm serving my soda. Papi, which soda do you want? No, I want this one. I want Sprite or Mountain Dew or Stevia. I can't remember. So I served him his cup, whatever. I go pay. As I'm paying, as I'm about to pay, I'm like, yo, like, yo, little man, come over. Like, let's pay for whatever you got. No, I don't have nothing. And I'm like, all right. So I pay for the drinks. I pay for whatever. De Barranquilla, ajá. De la costa, Melaza, papi. Oye, un placer en conocerte, oíste. So as we got to the movie theater, like, we're outside the movie theater, like, and like, whatever. I'm smoking a cigarette. I'm talking with him, and all of a sudden he pulls out the share size Snickers bar out of his pocket. And I'm like, yo, hey, what's up? Where that Snickers bar came from? I don't remember paying for that shit. And he's like, oh, me and my friends, we do this all the time. Like, it ain't shit. And I got so mad at him, bro. And it sucks because, like I said, I was here on a 4-day vacation. My mission was not to scold any of my kids. But when something like that happens, you see, red flags start showing up at some point of their life. And we start noticing it. It's on us to stop what can later on in life become a catastrophe in their life. They start off by little candy. Next thing you know, by the time he's 17, 18, he's already stealing cars. No, worst thing is when I called his mom. No, I was like, yo, X and X. No, whatever, bam, bam. So I called her and I'm like, yo, like whatever this happens. So I scolded, nah, that's my son. I know him. He doesn't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Do you think I'll be making up lies about my son? Especially when I came here on vacation, on a 4-day vacation. Like, if it hadn't happened, everything would have been fine. Now, what did he learn from that lesson? Even though I was strong with him, and it's not that I don't like to be of strong character, but I'm more laid back. I'm more chill. I smoke weed. I'm open with him. I'm like, yo, like, not because doesn't mean that you have to follow into my footsteps. But I'm just keeping it as gangster as it can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is me. This is who I am. I'm not, like, for example, I've met people, they hide in front of their kids. They don't talk to their kids about the real factors of life. How real life is. How cold the world is. How beneficial people are for themselves. Which takes me to saying selfish people. Who will stop at nothing. Who will stop at nothing to step all over you once they got whatever they want out of you. I told them, do you think your boys, if you get caught stealing, do you think your boys are going to look out for you? Do you think they're gonna send you money for commissary? Nah, you're cool as fuck in the moment. Yo, go, do this, do that. Oh, you did it. It came out good, hot. But let's also think about what could happen if it doesn't go as intended. First off, it's gonna be an embarrassment. Second of all, it's not good. It's not something that goes within our principles. It's not something that goes within our morals, our values. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. But if there's two things that nobody can say about me, they can say I'm an asshole. They can say I think I'm conceited. They can say I'm spoiled, which none of that is true. I'm real as fuck. But if there's something that people cannot say about me, it's two things: a thief and a lie. I hate liars. People who are constantly lying, keeping in the occult, keeping hidden themselves, their real nature, their true personality. They keep it hidden. And you meet somebody, I don't know if it has ever happened to you, you meet somebody, and at the beginning, everything is peaches and cream. But then time goes by, 4 or 5 months, down the road of knowing that person, and you start noticing that they start taking out their mask and they start acting more like themselves. That's when they get when they feel comfortable around you, they start peeling back their layers and showing who they truly are. That's why another thing I learned in life is it's not about having trust issues, but it takes time to develop and establish that trust. In order for me to be loyal to somebody, first, they must earn my trust. Not everybody in this life, and I say it because of myself, not everybody's gonna come into your life to harm you. And not everybody is gonna come into your life to be your best friend. Most of the people, they want to project their own fears, insecurities, anxieties about themselves on you by belittling you, making you feel like your shit ain't worth a shit. Like whatever you're doing in life, now you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna succeed on that area of life that you're trying to put all your effort and all your might into. That's because they can't. They wish they could do it, but they don't have the courage. They don't have the balls to project themselves in the world just how they are. Do you think I get support from family members ever since I opened up my channel? I have not heard nobody, no one of my family log into one of my lives, comment on any one of my clips, comment on any one of my old videos which were previously recorded, because at that time I didn't have the subscribers to go live. When I opened up the channel at first, I told my peeps, oh, do you think you're gonna really make it? Do you think it's gonna be something for you? Get a real job. This is a job. It's a job uplifting people, being somehow, some way, an inspiration for somebody else. If my life, the way I alchemized it, the way I turned it around from negative to positive, can help somebody out there, then all the validation is from the Father. Because at the end of the day, when my journey is complete in this earth and I part, guess what? There's going to be a face-to-face meeting. There's going to be a FaceTime with the Father. Are we ready for that moment? I don't know. I know that every day I wake up, I'm grateful. I ask the Father for the blessings. I ask the Father to bless the whole world. That's why I'm grateful for a plate of food. Because when I didn't have food, I know what starvation, I know what being starving is. I'm gonna keep it gangsta. I'm gonna keep it hood. When I was homeless and I didn't have nothing and I was hungry, guess who was my best friend? Guess who was my restaurant? Exactly. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of having to open up, going to a restaurant and seeing what they threw out, what was left over in those trash bags. Did I get sick off of that? No. Well, maybe I, at some point, if something was kind of like getting spoiled and I ate it, but that's not the whole point here. The whole point is keeping it real with yourself. Me being ashamed. Me being ashamed. Sacate el pito. ¿Quieres que saque el pipí? So anyway, being an inspiration for somebody else, that's all that counts. For me, my journey in life is serving people. I get a kick out of that. I get joy out of seeing somebody, being able to talk to them and being like, yo, I was in that same situation you is right now. But one day, I decided my life had to change. I had to do a 180, not a 360. Because let's think about it. A 360 is a full circle. It's gonna have you heading back, heading the same way you were first heading towards. So now switch it around to a 180 or maybe to a 90. Just changing routes, changing directions on yourself. Knowing your worth, knowing how valuable as a human being you are. That you don't have to walk around ashamed of yourself because of past experiences. Always knowing that every experience is meant for us to what? To grow. I'm always grateful. I'm grateful for each one of you. I'm grateful for you guys supporting me. I'm grateful for you guys just being here. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, ain't nothing better than that. Thank you. And may the Father bless all of you. All of you. Every day. You see, another thing in life, sometimes we raise our prayers, but then we feel like the Father doesn't hear what we're saying. Now, what are we asking for? Are we being grateful, or are we asking for something? Not everything in life is about what we want to hear, but more so what we need to hear. Sugarcoat? Raw. Truth. There's nothing more valuable in life than truth. Even though the world will look at you different, or you're a hypocrite, or you're a narcissist, because you go around speaking truth and not holding back. People don't like that. People don't like to feel naked, to feel exposed. And when they feel exposed, that's like the biggest trigger there is. So now, even if they had this cool ass perception of you, now they're looking at you different because you exposed all of their demons. Those little skeletons hiding in their closet. The crown chakra is really important. All chakras are very important, super important. Starting from the root chakra, ending in the crown. And for those that don't know, there's an eighth chakra, which is in our aura field. In the spiritual field, what we cannot see, there's an eighth chakra, infinity. Yo, so any recommendations? Let's cook something. Let's do something. Yo, the biggest lessons in life, the biggest. I mean, we could go to school forever and ever and ever, have doctorates, have masters, bachelor's degrees, so on and so forth. Education is not how many years you went to school. People get it twisted. Oh, he's prestigious because he has a plaque hanging in the back of his wall, in his office, in his house, in their house. But how do they go around treating people, looking at people over their shoulder? So how empty you have to be in order to step over somebody else who's weaker than you, in order for you to feel a bigger person. That's called ego. And ego has to be killed, murdered, has to be shattered. And only by the death of the ego is the spiritual awakening journey going to continue. That's how you're going to grow up spiritually. We were talking about twin flame journeys earlier in the video. For me, twin flame journeys is nothing but yourself having a spiritual awakening. And most people, you see them, oh, I'm looking for my twin flame. I'm looking for my twin flame. There's no such thing as an external twin flame. Twin flame is yourself. When you rekindle that fire inside of you and you come in balance, in peace with your masculine and your feminine side. When you could be nurturing as a male, loving, compassionate, being an empath. Most of these motherfuckers say, oh, trans, oh, gay. You see, that's the masculine way of thinking. Oh, I have to be all manly, I have to be rough, I have to be scruffy, no aesthetics, no taking care of myself, because I'm a man, I'm a bear. That's why when they get to the 40s, they look like shit. Because they never put the time in themselves. They never cared enough for themselves. Now, when you come in terms with your own self, you will be loving, nurturing, and at the same time, when that dark side has to come out, it will rise. It will come out. And the masculine side does not hold anything back. It could be blunt. It could be dark. It could be life-shattering. I think that's what people fear the most. Knowing that you can see right through them and their intentions beforehand, before they plan even rises up to the surface. You already know where they're coming from, where they're at, and where they're headed to. Now it's on you to cut ties with that karmic cycle, or let that karmic cycle take the best of you in life. And when that twin flame that we were all looking for turned out to be a karmic, the deception is nobody's but yourself. Because in order to love somebody, we need to love ourselves first. Knowing that there has to be a balance in a relationship, that if you're over giving and you're not getting in return, then that's not 50-50. Knowing that you could do good all by yourself, that you don't need that codependency on somebody else, that you don't need to be attached to anything, to nobody. And as long as you're fine with that, that's all we need. All we need is love. God created us with love. We co-create with love. And we love ourselves enough. So that when that other person comes around, wants to link up, it's not for you to be dependent on somebody else. It's not for somebody else to be dependent on us. It's to work as a team, to lift each other up, to see the best in ourselves and in them. Celibacy is option. It's an option. Not giving your energy away just like that. Knowing that your temple is sacred. Knowing that energies are shared. Not only diseases, but also entities transmit through sex. So we must always be mindful of who we have in our corner. Energetic vampires will steal your energy just because your energy is all the way up. And when you come across empty vessels, people who don't have the love for themselves, people who don't love the Creator, they find themselves in this loophole of emptiness within their soul. So how do they boost their ego? How do they feed their ego? By hurting others, by the pain they know they have caused in somebody else, by gaslighting the shit out of you. But once you lift the veil over all that shit, you see people, places, things for who they are, for what they are. Who are you gonna put first in your life? Are you gonna put them first? Or are you gonna put yourself first? Always remembering that what we do out of love. Oh, for example, I smoke herb, I smoke weed. Oh, I met somebody who doesn't like to smoke weed, who doesn't like the smell of weed, who, whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna stop because I love you. However much lasted the relationship, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, you stop smoking weed. At points you were like, debating that urge of smoking weed. But then all of a sudden, that relationship goes to shit. Guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna go back to your old ways because you never did it for yourself. You did it for somebody else who ended up deceiving you, disappointing you. So now, because of being hurt, now I'm gonna go back to my old ways. Versus when you heal yourself, and I'm not saying that smoking weed is something bad because I'm not harming anybody by smoking weed. I'm just giving an example. It could be anything else. It could be a change of your character. Or, like, you're too hilarious. You gotta be a little bit more serious. So you start leaving that kid aside and you start acting more as a grown up. You're gonna limit yourself over somebody else who doesn't even think about you when they go out into the world and take care of themselves. That's the difference between an energetic vampire and an empath. Yo, this shit is fire though. Ever since I tried them, like that, because I've had yogurts in my life. But this one is like honey vanilla yogurt. Yo, it's fire. Yo, today's Friday. It's crazy though because I said Friday and like whatever. There's 13 active heads right now. Friday, 13. Thought of Jason and shit. Sometimes we have to boost ourselves. We have to motivate ourselves. Stop seeking. Stop seeking for the approval of somebody else. And start seeking your own validation. Like back in the day, I used to think about everybody. Not that I don't do it anymore. But back in the day, it used to be like no boundaries whatsoever. Always thinking about my family. Always thinking about my kids. Always thinking about my my ex girlfriend, my ex woman when I was with her. Because obviously after we broke up, it's not the same. Um, which I only wish her nothing but the best. Yesterday was her birthday. Shit, I'm happy for her as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that everything works out for her. But most of the time, I be thinking about everybody else except myself. What did I get in return? Nothing but harsh experiences, which only taught me enough, which made me grow up, which made me see life from a different perspective, but never turning into one of them. Always holding the integrity tight, always holding myself with my crown, hold it up high, never looking down because it falls. Always knowing that most of the shit that I've been through in life, yes, they have been a product of my own decisions, but I've learned so much from each and every mistake in life. It's not meant for me to now turn into a monster and go out there. Because then that would mean that I'm lowering my standards. I'm lowering my values over somebody else that, whatever. because I'm not here to judge. You see, and people get a joy out of that. Seeing you broken, seeing you shattered. You know, one of the worst things in life was knowing that I was right and still having to ask for forgiveness. But at the same time, it made me grow up. Made me learn a lot. And that's where my ego death started happening. Like when my father died, when he passed away in October 2020. After his death, that's when my spiritual awakening started happening. Before he passed, he used to call me a lot. I was living a crazy ass lifestyle, crazy. And he would call me, he would talk to me. And me being stubborn, being whatever. Well, then resign. This is who I am. Whatever. I came into this life to whatever. Well, I'm going to accept my fate. And he would cry. He would bawl his eyes out. Please change, please change, please change. You don't know how much you're affecting me. And I would be like, so to myself, closed off, not giving a fuck. Oh, until the day that I woke up with one of the hardest news I've had to bear throughout my life. One of my biggest L's was my father. And I cried, and I cried, and I blamed myself for his heart attack and stroke. But then I realized that we all have an expiration date. Now, how did I alchemize that situation? By introspecting myself, knowing what am I made of? Is this the life that I want to live? Was he right? Was he wrong? Was he doing it out of love? And not the way I was seeing it, like, oh my God, oh man, like, shut the fuck up. Then I learned how to value myself. Then I learned how to cherish the people that I have around me. My mother, my kids, my brother. You see, these are all people that surround my circle that back in the day I didn't value, I didn't acknowledge. They were just sitting there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, family to family, like thinking everything is eternal. You know, because we don't really think about death like that. We're not looking at our family members and being like, yo, you're gonna die. It doesn't work like that. But reality check is that life is only a temporary walk through the earth. It's to have a godly experience in human body, to feel emotions, to learn and to be like the butterfly that came out of the caterpillar, to evolve. He only left us what? What does Holy Bible stand for? He only left you, including me, a book of instructions before leaving Earth, which means this is not life. This is like putting it the other way around. It's like if the real life was the afterlife, and this is only a test to see how well you did, how the evolution process, and that's gonna take you to your soul, to your death, to the real life. How we connect with our ancestors, how we don't forget our ancestors. And my condolences to each and everybody who has lost a parent. Facts. Facts, Poppy. Facts. Hell yeah, that's how we build our spiritual foundation. Pain. We go through pain. There's so much pain that we take, that pain comes natural. And that's when and that's when and that's when resilience kicks in. And that resilience stage where you're battling yourself. The past version of you versus the version that you're becoming now. And every step through life that we fumbled on, that we stumbled upon, is what made us the people who we are now. Now that resilience also turned into faith, knowing that the Father was the only one who was there through every one of the battles, through every one of the hardships, through every single act of hatred that was done upon us. Live life, make the most out of it, and grow. That's what's up, yo. Yo, have you ever noticed people be atheists? They don't believe. Nah, there's no higher source. There's no higher force. But then see them in the situation, in the struggle, in their deathbed, seeing a family member. Who do they seek for in those moments? Where's the redemption come from? Where's the miracles come from? Six. From that place of pain that made you realize that you're only a human being that was created by Source. And that there's a void in your heart, in my heart, that we try to fill it up with, I don't know, just material factors, I don't know, whatever. Buying shit, going to the mall, spending money, going from person to person, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I forgot the whole point of what I was gonna say. You know what? I think this is about that time where we end the life. And as you already know, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for the ones that stay up to date. Gracias, gracias Tomuchi, igual a ti, papi, que el Señor te bendiga, te continúe bendiciendo y que habrá muchos caminos para ti, que este 2025 sea uno próspero, sea uno lleno de abundancia, de bendiciones, de cositas buenas para ti y para tu familia. God bless all of you. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for being here with me. God bless all of you.